discover the EB5 Immigrant Investor Program, where foreign investors and their families secure U.S. residency through qualifying investments. Many companies play a crucial role in facilitating this process, including EB5 sponsors, real estate developers, immigration networks, and more. Despite some of the roadblocks, there are several ways of navigating these complexities that experienced EB5 sponsors can bring to bear that help investors and their families achieve their own American dream.
The purpose of the EB5 program and how it benefits investors in the economy is really twofold. First, it's a job creation vehicle for the U.S. that requires no taxpayer money. And what it allows us to do in the U.S. is to source investors offshore, and they can invest in an approved project by the United States Citizenship and Immigration Service, USCIS. And it helps developers because we're able to deliver a lower cost of capital than they would otherwise be able to achieve through the regular financial system.
EB5 is always accretive to the project because it's a cheaper form of capital than conventional financing. Typically, a developer might consider going to a commercial lending institution to borrow and then go to equity investors, insurance, pension funds, private equity firms in order to round out the capital stack. And when the capital markets are broken, as we've seen a few times in the last 15 years and construction lending freezes up, EB5 provides a necessary amount of liquidity into good projects that would otherwise normally be funded in order to allow these projects to still be built in downturn economic times.
Assuming that we create the jobs and build the project, then the applicant and their dependents are each awarded a green card.
What an EB5 regional center does is really take care of everything for the EB5 investors so they don't need to do anything themselves. We underwrite and analyze the project. We hire a PhD economist to look at the financial projections as well as the construction budget and create a job projection that the government relies on. And then throughout the process, we monitor construction, we review the draws, we perform site visits. And for an EB5 investor, all that's removed from his plate. The only thing he needs to do is select a project, and as long as a project gets built, they get a green card, and we handle everything in between.
The main eligibility for the EB5 program is that the investor needs to be a foreign national. They have to be able to afford an investment amount of $800,000, and we have to demonstrate that every investor has created 10 full-time jobs in order for them to obtain a green card.
Achieving the American dream is something that many strive for, which is why EB5 United is dedicated to assisting investors and their families by sponsoring eligible projects. EB5 United specializes in the EB5 program by acting as an investor fiduciary, while also facilitating U.S. job creation and improving communities.
What makes us different than others in this space is that we have a lot of real estate DNA. We came from 30 years of real estate development and real estate finance and brought those skill sets into this space, whereas many others have come through this space through the immigration program. So they don't quite have the understanding of the intrinsics of real estate and how it works and why it works. And that's served us very well because we structure these deals in such a way that we have a lot of investor protections in the event something were to go wrong.
We get approached by a lot of developers, and what we're looking for in a developer that we're willing to sponsor is that they're institutional quality with institutional capital. We're looking for development partners that have the liquidity and the ability to finish a deal no matter what happens.
What got us started in the EB5 space is simple. The capital markets exploded in 2007, 8, 9. There was no financing from any traditional lender. And so just researching other alternatives, we found out about this EB5 program. And we started to explore it, and here we are 13 years later, and we've raised almost $800 million through the program and have helped 2,000 families obtain green cards.
We believe EB5 is a cost-free way for the government to encourage development in areas that might be underdeveloped or not necessarily be able to be built in other means without EB5 financing, thereby creating jobs.
With respect to what makes us get up in the morning and continue to do it, one, helping our clients achieve the American dream. Two, working with a lot of great developers that are experienced and fun and have great projects. And it's exciting to source those opportunities and talk with those people.